Welcome to the Fantasy Fox podcast. This is me, Jordan Fantasy Fox, and we are here for a Week 12 review and a Week 13 preview. So let's kick it off by getting the Week 12 leaders. For quarterback, they had Russell Wilson as the number one quarterback this week. For running back, no shock here, Adrian Peterson, defying the age. For wide receiver, a big shocker this week in my opinion is Doug Baldwin, came down with 3 touchdowns. I personally didn't expect it, but he definitely shocked me. Tight end, Julius Thomas. The flex, Sammy Watkins. Defense, Panthers. And kicker is Graham Gano. For injuries this week, Tyler Eifert has a pinched nerve in his back, and he is doubtful to play. Rob Gronkowski, he has a sprained knee. He said he's out until his knee is 100%, so I'm just automatically going to assume that he is out this week. He is listed as doubtful as of now. Also, Allen Hurns has a concussion and is ruled out to play. And for this week's waiver wire, I got Scott Chandler, tight end on the Patriots, who's going to come in for Gronk, and I think he'll do pretty well. I think the 8 to 12 point range is pretty accurate for him. I think Brady's definitely going to be looking to him down in the red zone area. Also, running back David Johnson of the Cardinals, with Chris Johnson out for the year and Andre Ellington out this week. I think he's going to do great. His head coach, Bruce Arians, said that he could possibly get up to 25 touches. I don't think that's likely, but I think he'll definitely be involved in the passing game just a little bit more. All right, for my Week 13 picks, for quarterback, number 1, I got Cam Newton. Number 2, I got Tom Brady. And number 3, I got Ben Roethlisberger. Those 3 guys have honestly just wrecked the league this year. Cam Newton, Tom Brady, definitely neck and neck there for MVP this year. And Roethlisberger, he just throws a tremendous amount of yards week in and week out. Running backs, number 1, Adrian Peterson. Number 2, Doug Martin. And number 3, D'Angelo Williams. For wide receiver, we got Odell Beckham Jr. number 1, Julio Jones number 2. And to round it out, we got Antonio Brown. For tight end this week, we got Greg Olsen number 1. Travis Kelce number 2, and Scott Chandler number 3. No shock here, number 1, Stephen Gostkowski. Number 2, Cairo Santos. And number 3, Graham Gano. And also for defense this week, number 1, we got the Cardinals defense. Number 2, we got the Bengals defense. And number 3, we got the Patriots defense. For this week's rankings, I just couldn't add Rob Gronkowski and Tyler Eifert, even though they're 95% out this week, most likely. Just want to play it safe there. Sleepers this week for quarterback, I got Ryan Tannehill. Running back this week, Buck Allen of the Ravens, with Justin Forsett out for the year with a broken arm. I think he's definitely going to get 15 to 20 touches. Wide receiver, Brendan LaFell. Tight end, Scott Chandler. Kicker, Blair Walsh. And the Redskins defense going up against the awful Cowboys offense with Matt Castle coming in to replace Romo, who is out for the year. He re-aggravated his collarbone injury. So Matt Castle is the quarterback there for the rest of the year. I do see the Redskins winning that division. Now since they beat New York this past week, they did look extremely good, I think. Kirk Cousins definitely coming around, showing us what he's got. The Giants really didn't look all that in sync there. They were down 20-0 at one point. They made a small comeback, but they just couldn't finish there. As of the Eagles, they're all dysfunctional. I don't think Chip Kelly's going to be there much longer. And the Cowboys, they're just a mess in themselves. The best they can be is 8-8, which they've been that, with the exception of last year for like the past 3-4 seasons before that. So, in my opinion, I think it's the Redskins division to lose. Now, granted, how far they'd go, they'd be lucky to win the wild card round. I would love that personally as a Redskins fan. But, I always have my hopes up for them. So, we'll see how they go. And that's going to wrap it up for this week's podcast number 13. I hope you guys have a great week this week in your leagues, and hope for the best. See you next week.